Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Marcus from the Weekly Spot, back again with another review. And today I'll be doing a review of the first season of Reacher, a TV series based on the series of books, the Jack Reacher series, written by Lee Child.
Get your ass kicked.
No, I'm just gonna break the hands of three drunk kids.
There's four of us.
One of you's gotta drive to the hospital.
The show follows Jack Reacher, who is a former military policeman, and the show starts off with him walking into this small town in Georgia called Margrave, and as soon as he gets there, he gets arrested for murder. Now, eventually, his name was in the clear, but he finds out that the victim of the murder, who was investigating a wide conspiracy, was someone that he had personal ties to. So now, with the help of Captain and Chief Detective Finley and Officer Roscoe, he wants to find the people responsible and to put a stop to the conspiracy going on in Margrave. The first time I saw this show, I haven't read the books. I didn't even know that there were any books. The only reason why I wanted to see this was because I saw the Jack Reacher movie that came out in 2012, which I thought was a great film. Plus, watching the trailer for this, it got me interested in checking it out, and added on to hearing mostly positive things about it from the internet. And finally, watching it, I gotta say, if you haven't seen this show, I definitely recommend checking this out. And if you haven't read the books, I recommend checking those out as well. Jack Reacher is an awesome character, and I thought Alan Richardson is great. And after reading the books, I can definitely say that he is the perfect casting for this role. And it's not that. And nothing against Tom Cruise's portrayal of Jack Reacher. I actually didn't. I actually didn't think it was that bad. Like even after reading the books, I still think he does a good job. I feel like he nails the personality of the character. But I will say, after reading the books, he doesn't have the look of the character. And as I mentioned before, I didn't know that there was a series of books, and I didn't know that there was any backlash of his casting. But after reading the books and knowing about the character, despite liking Tom Cruise's performance, I can understand why the fans of the books were pretty vocal about it, because Reacher in the books is described as being a 6'5", weighing around 250, while Tom Cruise is like 5'7", and though he is built, he still doesn't have that look. And Jack Reacher is one of those characters that his look is important, and it plays a big part in the series. So with Alan Richardson as a character, he's got the look and he's got the personality. He's pretty accurate as Jack Reacher. He's tough, very smart, and so blunt, and such a no nonsense type of guy, to where though he's not a bad guy, he can come off as an asshole. And again, uh, the actor plays the character so well, like he's pretty much Jack Reacher. And the rest of the cast, I thought, did a good job as well of portraying their characters. uh, Especially the characters Roscoe and Finley, in which the show spends more time with them in comparison to the book, as the book in which this season is based off of, it was set in the first person, a narration. Malcolm Goodwin, I thought, was great as Finley. Finley is the chief detective and captain of the Margrave Police Department. He's like this stoic, cautious guy that's always tried to use, logic and evidence to the best of his ability. And you can also see that he's well kept and proper. Like, he's got the suits, and he doesn't like cursing and all that, which is pretty similar to the books. Like, when you're introduced to him, he comes off as such a grumpy guy, but when you learn more about his character and his story as the show goes on, it's actually it's understandable why he is that way. And you do feel bad for him. And I love the relationship and the chemistry and the banter between Reacher and Finley. Like, seeing them working together is like something off of movies like Lethal Weapon, or Rush Hour. It kind of comes off as like a buddy cop film. Like, you got Finley, who, again, like, he's this cautious guy, and then you got someone like Reacher who is just who's just reckless, you know, and from the moment like and from the moment when they meet each other, they're butting heads. Like, they do not like each other, but as the series goes on, you see these two have like this mutual respect and trust for each other. And I thought, you know, that friendship, that relationship, I thought it was well developed. Roscoe, who I also think is a good character, who I thought was played well by Willa Fitzgerald. Roscoe is a cop of the Margrave Police Department. She's kind, smart, tough, and after reading the books, I've noticed that they did change her character a bit. And as much as I like Roscoe in the books, I really did like what they did with her in the show. And what they added to her character, while also being faithful to the source material. She's the one that manages to keep Reacher from overstepping himself. They have this immediate connection. She's the only one that shows any, you know, kindness or decency to Reacher since his arrival at Margrave. I like the relationship between Roscoe and Reacher. I thought they had some great chemistry that I thought was well developed throughout the course of this season. Now, as for the villain, or villains, I should say, I thought they were pretty good. In this season, you got the main one, Kleiner Sr., played by Curry Graham, who is the head of Kleiner Industries, along with Mayor Grover Teal, played by Bruce McGill, the mayor of Margrave, and Kleiner's crazy son, KJ Kleiner Jr., played by Chris Webster. Throughout this season, you see how powerful Kleiner is and how big this conspiracy is. Like, you got corrupt cops, politicians, business people, and people outside of Margrave. It's like you really don't know who Reacher, Finley, and Roscoe could go to or trust because of how many people that are involved in. And people that are backing Kleiner and this scam that he's got going on, like it makes this mystery more intense and suspenseful. The story I thought was good. It was intriguing from the first episode to the last. Much like the book, it's pretty simple and straightforward. This season is based on the first book, Killing Floor, and rewatching the show after reading the book, there are some changes that I've noticed, and some of the changes I thought were cool, some I wasn't too crazy about, but overall, it's a fairly faithful adaptation. The show got some great humor with the character Reacher. He's a funny guy, but in a very dry kind of way. Like, he's got some funny moments that I thought were pretty good. I also like the suspense. It's thrilling. It may have some slow parts here or there, but it's pretty fast paced. I was never really bored, and the action I think is awesome. It's so brutal and intense, and I just think it's a well written show. Now, it can be a bit silly, especially with Jack Reacher himself, but that's pretty accurate from what I can tell from the books that I've read so far. And if anybody who's watching this that is fully caught up with the books, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not fully caught up with the series. But Jack Reacher does come off like a superhuman being, but I feel like the silliness here, along with everything else, it makes for a fun show. This is an amazing show. I thought this was a great mystery crime thriller that will keep you hooked from beginning to end. Alan Richardson is awesome as Jack Reacher, along with the rest of the cast. I thought everyone else did a great job as well. The show got some great action. I like the comedy, the drama, the characters, and the suspense. This is a show that I recommend checking out, especially to the Jack Reacher fans, especially to the fans that didn't really like Tom Cruise's portrayal or the movie, or both. I think you'll enjoy this one a lot more. As I mentioned before, this is a pretty fairly faithful adaptation to the character in the book, and overall, I give a Reacher a season 1 a 4.5 out of 5.
Tonight, twist off. Show off.
And that is my review for Reacher season 1. Let me know what you think. And are you excited for season 2? This is Marcus from the Weekly Spot. More content will be coming out soon. But until then, take care, everyone.